Welcome. Come in. Come in. To my home. Just kidding. Are you filming? Are we rolling? Is the camera on?
Camera's hot.
Alright, so I have a few red carpets coming up. Nole? Excuse me. Excuse me? Do you guys mind? Hello? Come on. Come on. Leave. You can't act like an adult. You can't act like adults, you gotta go. So right now we're in my closet, and I wanted to do kind of a get ready with me video, talking about like everything I do to get ready for a big event. You guys could use some of these tips and tricks towards a wedding or any big event that you have coming up. This is like the kind of stuff I like to do. So, let's go over here. Important face masks. This is one that I always use. You guys always see me using it. It was in my skincare video. It's the Glamglow Gravity Mud. They came out with a Sonic the Hedgehog color one. It's still the same as the silver. First things first, you want to apply a face mask before an event. I wouldn't apply anything too harsh. This is just like a nice face mask, and it helps with radiance of your skin. So it's not anything that's super harsh that's gonna help you with breakouts. Any breakout type of mask I would use a couple of days before your event, just in case it makes them come up to the surface. So this is more just for radiance. And I like this because right after you take it off, your face looks really glowy. And that's what you want. You want to look nice and glowy, looking snatched. Make sure you rinse this after every use. Another thing I like to do before a big event is whiten my teeth. I feel like that's so important because you're smiling a lot in your photos and you want to make sure that they look as white as they could be. I've always been using the Crest Whitestrips. These are just strips that you can buy over the counter. I've used the gentle ones before as well. If you have sensitive teeth, gentle works really well. These are the Crest 3D Whitestrips, and these actually come with a light. Look at my chicken claw. And it's good because you can wear it while you're doing things, right? So if you're needing to try on your outfit for that night or whatever it may be, I like to wear these as I'm getting ready. There's one for like the top of your teeth and then one for the bottom. This is gonna be really flattering, I'm sure. You just kind of, boom. All right, so now you're gonna have a lisp and look extra sexy. Is this awkward for you, Steven?
Not at all.
Okay, so you have these in for an hour and then you can use the Crest LED light. Like this. I can't explain and talk at the same time, especially with this lisp. So you're gonna put it on after you've had these in for an hour, and you do it twice. One for the top teeth and one for the bottom teeth. And the light will turn off automatically when it's done. Do I look crazy right now with this blue mask and this blue light? Basically what this light does is it makes your teeth get the optimal whiteness that they could possibly be. Right? Like if you were to go to the dentist, but this is just something you can get over the counter. I like to do my whitening at home, and I'll put that on and then go on about my business. As you're whitening your teeth and face masking, you can like go through your closet and pick out what you're gonna wear. I think I'm gonna wear either this dress or this dress to the events that I have. So I don't know if you guys wanna comment down below, what do you think?
You wanna get up, take a walk in time, wait to know the feeling, day all night. Why don't you wanna get down, take a hit with me, reach your hands out, let's go now. Just fade from the world that we once knew, and break down these walls.
Quick side note, another thing I like to do before events is do a hair mask. I already did one, but if you guys do have an event, a hair mask is gonna make your hair look really good. Don't do it the day of. I would do it the day before or the week leading up to your event, because a hair mask has a lot of moisture and it can make your hair look a little bit flatter if you do it the day of, so that's a tip. I'm blue, if I was green I would die, if I was green I would die. After, I'm just gonna go ahead and go peel off this face mask and start on my makeup. So we're about to head into the studio. Whoop. So we're gonna make moves now. We're going into the makeup room, which is right next door. Here we go. So this is where I film. Hello, there's Sven. So we're gonna bring you guys right into this now, the tutorial of the makeup. And now we're here in the studio. First things first, I'm just gonna do every step that I would to get ready for a big event here on camera. So that includes skincare. I'm going to moisturize my skin, whatever moisturizer you like. I'm just trying out this one by Charlotte Tilbury. It's called the Magic Cream, but you can use whatever moisturizer you like. This one just works well as a primer from what I hear in the streets. This one does have sunblock though, so I'm not sure how that would do with flashback of photography, but we shall see. Next, I'm also gonna use the eye cream. These are just new products that I got that I've kind of been wanting to try out, so. I mentioned this in my new skincare video of things I'm trying right now. Someone told me it works really well at helping plump your under eyes so that it kind of fills fine lines. So next I'm going in with a primer. This is Benefit's Porefessional. This is really good if you have larger pores, if you want to fill anything like that. But because it is so thick and it is to fill pores, I only apply it in areas where the pores appear more visible, which is usually for a lot of people the apples of the cheeks. So I'm just smoothing that over and then kind of blending it in around the edges of where I applied it. I went to Patrick Ta's makeup seminar. If you guys don't know who Patrick Ta is, he's an amazing celebrity makeup artist. Like I love his makeup so much. He's one of my favorites. I want him to do my makeup one day. He keeps telling me he's going to, but I'm waiting, Patrick. I know you're watching and I'm waiting. It was really nice to be educated by another makeup artist because I find that he's a whole different type of artist. He does a lot of celebrity work for red carpets, and the makeup for that is a lot different than, you know, maybe YouTube or Instagram, and I was so in awe of just his techniques. I was really excited to go home and try some of his things. One of the things he did was mix a bunch of different foundations. I usually do that anyways. I find that I love to mix foundations. Say you like the color of one and you need another color, or if you like the finish of one but you want it to be a little bit more full coverage, just playing with mixing your foundations can give you a whole new formula that you may have not have thought of before. For my foundation, I'm gonna be using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and I'm going to add a few drops of this essential oil by MAC. It smells like sweet orange and lavender. This is just gonna give it more of a glow. I'm also gonna mix Strobe Cream, put it all in a Petri dish, and blend it together just like this. Boom. So the majority of the mixture is going to be the Armani Luminous Silk because I just love the way that looks. This is going to kind of sheer out the foundation a little bit but still have that full coverage, so if you don't want your skin to look too heavy. I love that Patrick was like, I love full coverage foundation because it makes everyone look really flawless in photos, but I don't want it to look cakey, so you could always thin it out with Strobe Cream and make it look a little bit more glowy. So now I'm just going to mix it all together. I loved going to his class. It was so, I realized how much I miss learning about makeup from other people. And I really like that he has a more, you know, natural approach to makeup. Just looking glamorous, but still looking yourself is what I'm trying to say. I'm just using this Morphe G34 brush to kind of distribute the product everywhere. This is definitely not how he applied foundation, but you know, here I am. If you have dry skin, I really like adding drops of oils like I did here. I added the MAC one, but there's also an Orbe oil, there's also an Elsie oil, there's a lot of oils out there that you can add to your foundations. I wouldn't do it if you have an oilier skin type. If you have dry skin or combination skin, I feel like it looks really nice. Just a couple of drops gives you a really glowy look. You know, we love to apply powder to the center of the face as well, so everything will look glowy, but you can still powder areas that you don't want to look glowy. I just like to use a brush to put the product on, and then I use my beauty blender to blend it out, because I feel like if I dip my beauty blender in there, I've noticed that it's been sucking up extra product. I like to spend a lot of time on the skin. It's probably the most important part for me, aside from eyebrows. The foundation I'm using, also, if I didn't already mention, it's in the shade 7.5. You can clearly see that there's a difference between my face and my neck, so it's very important to bring the foundation down your neck as well, even onto your ears. And you just want to kind of blend it out with your beauty blender, or a large kabuki brush works really well for this. Now it comes time for spot concealing. If you have any breakouts, you want to make sure to spot conceal those with something a little bit more heavy duty. I'm going to use a little bit of this Shape Tape just on the areas that blemishes may show through. So if you have any blemishes, just use concealer, don't put more foundation on. You want to keep your skin nice and luminous, not too much foundation. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of IT Cosmetics Bybel Under Eye. This is a really good concealer for under eye dark circles. It's super heavy duty. I only use the tiniest drop, which I put here, and I don't even use all of that. You want to use a nice synthetic brush for this. This one is by Tarte Cosmetics. I'm just applying that in the hollow areas of my under eyes. This is really good as like a base concealer, so I don't really use this too close to my under eyes. I kind of just like to put it in the hollows here and feather it out because it's a really thick concealer. Okay, pues. We're gonna move on to brows. I'm gonna be using this new brow palette. This is by Zoeva. I said new, it already looks like a hot ass mess. It's a brow spectrum palette. Has a bunch of different shades here. I'm taking an angled brush. This is by Dose of Colors. I'm gonna dip into this shade right over here. We're gonna start shaping up the brows. My aunt sent me a photo of me when I was a kid, and really my brows have always looked like this, so I don't think it's ever gonna be any different for me. I make it work, but still, I wish I could just wake up and be like, I have brows. And I would never do microblading because, I don't know, it just seems like very permanent on my face. It scares me. And I haven't really heard the best results of microblading, so it freaks me out. I just want a nice soft brow that's like just framing my face, but it's not super statement like. Powder's nice because it has a really soft look to it too. Just flick upwards towards the front with the lightest amount of powder. So you can kind of get the majority of the shape with the powder, and then if you have more sparse areas like I do here, you can go in with a pencil, which has a little bit more pigment. It's gonna look more like hairs there. I'm gonna go ahead and set the brows with some clear brow gel just to make sure they don't move around. I hate when you take photos and there's like one brow hair dangling. So now we're gonna move on to the eye makeup, and it's gonna be pretty simple actually. First, you wanna apply an eyeshadow base. This one is by Benefit. It's the Air Patrol. When you have an event, of course, you wanna apply an eyeshadow base because you want your eyeshadow to last just as long as your face makeup, and that's why we apply primer to our face as well. And I'm applying this with the same brush that I used for that concealer. I'm making sure to blend that evenly across the lids up into the brow bone. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and set that eyeshadow base. I'm gonna be using Brule. I'm just gonna lightly dust it over everything. You could use a translucent powder as well. I just like using this because it highlights the brow bone at the same time. And I'm distributing the product mostly over the crease and the brow bone. So next we're gonna go into the eyeshadow, and like I said, this look is gonna be very easy. I'm gonna start off with this Morphe R39 blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the Carli Bybel BH Cosmetics palette just because I feel like this palette is super affordable, and I mean it's like all bronzy tones, so if you have this palette at home, it's really, really nice. I'm gonna go into this gold shade here, apply that all over the lid, softly blending it upwards and blending it out into the crease as well, but just very lightly, whatever's left over on my brush. I like shimmer shadows for events because I feel like they look really pretty under lights and in photos. So once I apply it, I'm then gonna take a clean blending brush and diffuse those edges. So this is the kind of look I'm going for right now. This is also makeup done by Patrick. I just love how she looks like a glowing goddess. I'm actually gonna go into my bronzer. This is MAC Give Me Sun and a Smith 232 brush. And I'm gonna start applying this into the crease for some warmth and over here in the outer corner of the eye. Just trying to fuse all of these colors together, still keeping it really soft. Now that we have this really pretty diffused golden look, I'm gonna deepen out the outer corner with Tan Lines by Makeup Geek. I love this brush. This is the Smith 247. And I'm gonna apply this on the outer corner and also in the outer crease. And just blend it into all the shades we applied on the lid and the crease. This is a really good eye makeup look for beginners because it's minimal product. You don't have to have like 500 different eyeshadows. It's looking really nice and golden. I'm gonna go into my concealer next. This is the Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealers. I mixed two colors because I can't really seem to figure out my color, so I'm mixing tan and medium. I kind of like tan because it's dark. It's almost the same color as my foundation, but I feel like it covers the darkness under my eye area, so I put a little bit there. And next I'm taking medium, which is really light, and I'm just gonna apply it all over in the triangle formation here. I'm also gonna sharpen up this shadow on the edge here because it can get a little messy over here. Also applying it on the sides of my nose. Boom. All right, then I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender and blend that all out. This concealer isn't super full coverage, so if you need something a little bit more full, I recommend the Tarte Shape Tape. This one is really, really good. It's gonna cover everything, and it also sets really well, so it dries to a matte finish, and it doesn't budge. To set the under eyes, I'm using the Kat Von D Peach Brightening Powder, but I'm gonna mix that in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm just gonna set my under eye with this. I dipped the mixture onto my Beauty Blender and we're just gonna apply it on the under eyes. Make sure if you get an oily nose to pack that powder on the sides of your nose as well. And I also bring the powder down to the apples of my cheeks. So this area is gonna be really powdered because that's where I get oily, but I'm gonna leave majority of my face nice and dewy. Looks kind of crazy right now, but we're gonna dust it off in a second. I'm also gonna take that translucent powder down the center of my nose, kind of laying down a straight line of this. Let that settle for a little bit. I'm gonna be using the Pro Concealer by LA Girl. This is a nice, affordable concealer. It's in the shade Toast. It's a deep shade, but I'm gonna use this to contour my cheekbones. Boom. I'm also gonna apply that just like little dots around the hairline to bronze up my face. In that photo, Gigi is bronzed to the gods. She looks so good. So I'm gonna apply a small amount and then work that in with my beauty blender. It looks kind of crazy right now, but don't worry, it'll blend out, it'll blend out. This is how you get the rotisserie look. And if you feel like I do and it's a little bit too crazy, you could always go back in with your foundation and kind of go over the edges. Now that everything is, well, not everything's blended in, but the bronzer is, I'm using my MAC Studio Fix. This is the NC45. I like to use this along the sides of my nose to give a subtle contour. It's just easy, just like that. Boom, done. Done and done. Now I'm gonna dust off the powder that we have here. So now I'm gonna use my La Mer powder, and this is what I'm gonna use to kind of set just the center of my face. So now I'm going in with this highlight. This is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Cream Shimmer in the shade 01 Light. Taking that on my beauty blender, pinching it together, and I'm gonna start applying that to the tops of my cheekbones. And I just want a very, very dewy glow to the skin, just like in the photo. So I'm using this cream highlight for that. Okay, I'm also taking that on the Cupid's bow, the tip of the nose. So now I'm gonna go right over that cream highlight with a powder highlight. This is gonna intensify it and also set it. And I'm using a Luxie 129 fan brush. Now I'm going in with my Morphe E36. This is a really good under eye brush. And the same eyeshadow tan lines that we used into the outer corner of the top part of our eye. And I'm going to run this under the lash line. So I start placing my brush on the outer corner of the eye, and then I lightly sweep it inwards, but I want most of the product to be on this outer corner and then connect it to the top. As my inner corner highlight, I'll be using this Natasha Denona shadow in the color Moonshine. It's this one right here. This is a little palette, but you could also buy her eyeshadows individually. I'm just gonna use a pencil brush for that, apply it, and then I kind of just blend out the edges here. So now we're gonna go ahead and do our lashes. I'm gonna curl them first, my little baby lashes, and then apply mascara. I'm using the Too Faced. This is the Better Than Sex waterproof formula. Then after you apply mascara, you could either apply your favorite strip. For events, and especially for weddings, I think individual lashes is best because say for example, you cry and the corner of your strip lash pops off. It's gonna be an annoying thing to have to deal with if you aren't good at applying lashes or if your makeup artist left, whatever it is. Individual lashes, if you cry, one might fall off, but it doesn't mean you lose your whole strip. These are the Ardell. I have a pack of medium, short, and then these are multi-pack. You just dip the top of the lash into the glue like this. And I'm gonna apply a long on the outer corner first. You wanna make sure that your glue, that you're dipping it in, your lash glue is tacky, because if it's not, it'll just slide around like it's doing now. I'm trying to rush it. I'm gonna take another long eyelash and apply it in the center. Then I'm gonna apply a medium over here. And you're putting them right on top of the lashes. I like the look where the lashes are flared on the outside. That's why I put the longs on the outside. If you want all one length all the way across, you could do that. You could just create any style that you want. And I barely have any lashes, so I really have to build. I'm going in with the next lash here. I like to put majority of long on the outer part of my eye, then I kind of go more towards medium for the center and then small for the inner part of the eye. That's the look I like. Getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. I'm going with short into this inner part of the eye here. If you already have a full set of lashes, like your natural lashes are just popping, it's not gonna be as hard for you to do this because you're not gonna need as many lashes. But I'm over here starting from scratch, so this is what I have going on. It's a lot easier to use the knot-free eyelashes than it is the ones with a knot for some reason. My long ones here have a knot because apparently they're just sold out of knot-free everywhere, but the other ones don't, and they're so much easier to use. The short and medium don't have knots, and they're so much easier. Okay, so I've applied the individuals to both eyes. So now I'm gonna take this Maybelline mascara. This is the Colossal Big Shot Volume Mascara, and I'm gonna apply just a little bit to the lashes, just to kind of give them that real lash mascara look, but I'm not applying too much, mostly at the base. I noticed that in that photo, she didn't really have lower lash mascara, Gigi, but if you want to apply lower lash mascara, this would be the time. All right, so we're done with the eyes. I'm just gonna finish off the face. We did apply that cream bronzer earlier, but I'm using the Give Me Some by MAC to just kind of set it. I don't want to apply too much because I like the amount of bronze we got from just using the cream. I'm going into this Ofra. This is the little blush set here. I'm gonna do a mixture of this tone right here and this tone and lightly apply that. And just know when you have an event that blush is the first thing to fade from your makeup. It doesn't last as long, so it won't look as crazy once you get to your event. So I like to apply just a little bit more when I have an event, and then it starts to fade. It's really important to set the makeup that you've done. I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter. They got new packaging. Now it's black so it doesn't get all dirty. Set it. Not only is this gonna set the makeup, but it's also going to make all the powders on your face kind of melt into the skin so it doesn't look super powdery or cakey or anything. It's gonna look a lot nicer. Now for the lips, you guys can go ahead and use any lip color that you want. I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Yours to Try, and it's a really pretty nude color. I just love the photo where it's bronzy and nude. Obviously, you guys know this is what I like. But you guys can do bright red. Any color goes with this makeup look. I absolutely love this lipstick. This isn't a lipstick that dries super matte. It just wears comfortably on your lips. Okay, so this is the finished look. It's really pretty, it's soft, it's monochromatic, it's very bronzy and nude and golden and everything I love in a makeup look. All right, so that's it for the video. I'm all ready to go. Well, I'm not ready to go yet. I'm still wearing my sweater and sweatpants down here, but you know what I mean. I really like how this makeup look turned out. I hope you guys do too. It's actually one of my favorites. Crazy how just some different techniques could make the makeup look better and more effortless. So thank you, Patrick Ta, for sharing your techniques with me. To me, this look is so effortless and so beautiful and glowy. Everything I love in a makeup look. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And I'm just going to plop one drop. I went a little more than one drop there. That. Oh snap. It's very important to set. I just can't handle this hair right now. Did I take it too far?
You took it way too far.